Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to create a Blackboard Collaborate session. So you first may ask, what is Blackboard Collaborate? Collaborate is an online video conferencing program that allows you to share yourself, your screen, content, your video all in real time with either students or anyone else who wants to join into this particular session. It's similar to WebEx, Zoom, GoToMeeting. It's a real-time teleconferencing tool. A very powerful tool. It also allows you to create the session for yourself. So if you need to show a whiteboard or show how to do a particular math problem or just really record a lecture and just record it for yourself and then save it and then post it later to your Google Classroom or Blackboard page, it also allows you to do that as well. So it's kind of a quick way. I may use it in a pinch if I need to record how to do something in PowerSchool. I need to show somebody how to do something and demonstrate. I might just pop into a Collaborate session, record myself troubleshooting the problem, and then send it to the user. And it's an easy way for me to quickly record my screen. So without further ado, let's get started here. The first thing you need to do is navigate to our district Blackboard page, which is learn.munster.us. So once you're at learn.munster.us, go ahead and sign in. And I'm a member of many courses here. So if you are the teacher and you want to create a Blackboard Collaborate session, there's two ways you could create it. One is pick the class that you want to create the session for, and then students will be able to join that session if they are enrolled in that class. Otherwise, you could also just choose any class, and once you create the session, you can choose the option to generate a URL, and then based on that session you created, you can then email or post that URL to any platform, whether that be Google Classroom, your Blackboard page, or even email it out to people. And as long as they have that URL, they'll simply click the URL and they will join your Blackboard Collaborate session. So in this case, I'm just going to choose the instructional coaching class here that I'm a part of. Going to choose the Blackboard Collaborate option on the left. Now this course has a lot of different options. Most of your courses will not have all of that. So Blackboard Collaborate is the option we're looking for, so choose that here on the left. And once you chose that, by default you're going to see course room here listed at the top. I'm going to go ahead and create a session though. So click on create session, we'll give it a name. We'll call this Mr. Popovich's virtual office. And we'll give it a start time of, March 19th, 9:04 p.m. and give it no end date. So that means that the course, by default, if you give it an end time, it'll go on for an hour, and once that hour is reached, it will just end the session. I'm going to choose no end, so the session will just keep on going. Back up here to the top, the dial-in number. So if somebody needs to dial in and doesn't want to use the computer audio, there's this phone number that it provides you with here, and that allows somebody to actually dial in rather than use their computer mic. But you have to have that guest access option checked off. In addition, that when I was saying that you could email your users or post your Blackboard Collaborate session to a different page or a different source like Google Classroom, you can copy the guest link, and anybody with this specific URL, I'm going to copy this to my clipboard, anybody with this URL will be able to join right into your session without having to log into Blackboard, without having to navigate to your course. They type in that URL or paste that URL in their address bar, and they'll be right into your Blackboard Collaborate session. So again, the event details, we didn't give it an end time, that's fine. We'll go down to session settings. Default attendee role, we're going to say everybody who joins is going to be a participant. We don't want to make them a presenter or moderator because they're students or other people. You are the moderator since it's your session. Recording. Allow recording downloads, I say yes. That allows you to record this session, then later email it, download it, post it somewhere else if you need to. It's always a helpful thing. If you don't have it checked, it kind of puts you in a pinch later if you do need to access the recording. So we're going to check that off. Anonymized chat messages. No, we could let people say who they are and have them show up in the chat. Show profile pictures for moderator only. We don't need to worry about that. and we want our participants to share audio, video, post chat messages, draw on whiteboard and files. Say if you're doing this with a class of 25 or 30 and you don't necessarily want to have distractions, you can always turn that off. But in this case, we're going to keep it on. Allow attendees to join the session using a telephone. Yes, we want to allow that, but again, that's something you can turn off. There's also the option participants can only chat privately with moderators. We can turn that on or off. I'm going to turn that on and then hit save. So once we have saved that, you'll see back here when we go to your Blackboard Collaborate session, I'm going to click on Mr. Popovich's virtual office, and I'm going to click on Join Session. Now keep in mind, I still have that URL copied to my clipboard. So if I open up a new tab and I paste that URL, that's that URL that I copied. That's that public guest link. So if I go ahead and send that to anybody, they will then be able to join my virtual session here. So once you're in Collaborate, I could turn on my webcam if I wanted to. I can unmute my microphone. I can raise my hand if I have a question. But the most important is this Collaborate panel here down on the right. So I'm going to open that up. And I have 4 options down here at the bottom. I have my chat window, my attendees, my share content, which is most important, and settings. So if you need to get into troubleshooting why your webcam isn't working, why your microphone isn't working, you can open up these options here. This will allow you to troubleshoot your microphone and troubleshoot your webcam all at the same time. The share content option, so if I want to share a blank whiteboard, say if I want to go through a math problem or I need to annotate on something, I can do that here. Share application or screen, so if I want to share one of my screens with someone, I could pick any of my screens and share my screen in real time. If I just want to share a particular application window, I can do that. If I want to share a Chrome tab, I can do that as well. So it's very, very simple to share in real time your screen. Same thing if I want to share a file. A file I have here is a opening slide for Ultra, which shows people when they join the session, kind of like a one-time, this is how you do certain things. So I'm going to share that. This is what I keep open on my Collaborate sessions, that shows the users that, how to unmute their mic, how to access the panel at the bottom, how to adjust their audio, how to dial in via microphone or phone, I should say. So that's the share files option. Polling, if I wanted to create a question and say if I want to say something out loud and I want to get the overall feedback of my audience, I can do a quick poll there. Or breakout groups. I can then choose to assign, now again, I'm the only person in this particular session, but I can assign different group members to different groups. Again, my attendees, they will show up there, and then the chat. So just to show you real quick, if I was to open up a new window and I paste that URL, again, this URL can be used by as many people as you'd like. It first asks, so this is what a student would see. It says, Blackboard Collaborate, joining Mr. Popovich's virtual office. Type your name to join the session as a guest. So I'm going to say John Doe, join session. And then the first thing that pops up is says US Blackboard Collaborate wants to use your microphone. We'll say allow. And then we'll say, yes, my microphone is working. It's then going to ask me if it wants to use my camera. I'm going to say allow. It's going to do webcam test. Yes, it's working. And then it'll allow me to go through a tutorial, but I can just hit later. And then now I'm joined as student John Doe, and I see that screen that I shared with my group about a minute ago. So this is what the user will see, and they can open up the Collaborate panel. They could see that the moderator is Kurt Popovich, the participant is themselves, John Doe, and they are not allowed to share anything because they are not the moderator. Me, as the moderator, if I switch back to the moderator view, I could then share content if I wanted to. I could even promote John Doe to be the moderator, so they could do all of that as well. So that's a quick overview of Collaborate. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to me or email support@munster.us, and I would be happy to help you out. Thank you very much. Another thing that I forgot to mention was while you are recording or while you are giving your Blackboard Collaborate session, if you navigate up to the left-hand menu here and choose the option that says Start Recording, this will allow you to record your session. So even if nobody is in the session, you want to choose to show a whiteboard or give a PowerPoint presentation, record yourself doing so, you can do that and then later come back and access that recording and download it and then upload it to YouTube, upload it to your Google Classroom, or just post it in your Blackboard page. So it's a very useful feature. So once the session is recording, you can stop the recording and go back to your actual sessions list within Blackboard Collaborate. And on the left-hand side of the menu here, this shows you your sessions. If you click on the menu and go to recordings, this shows you the recordings that you had created. Now this recording was from the 17th. The recording from tonight, the 19th, won't show up just yet. It'll show up in about probably 2 to 3 minutes. So if you just refresh the page, it will eventually show up. But that is how you actually access the recordings.